Hey people, welcome to Ken's Money Matters. It's been a while since we spoke about some FinaTips. FinaTips is whereby we describe some very common ones in investing, common ones in personal finance. So today I thought it's an opportune time to talk about something very interesting because a lot of people are going into investment right now. We're going to discuss, or we're going to describe index fund investing versus picking stocks. These are two different approaches to investing. Like we say, everyone decides whatever they want to achieve or whatever they want to use based on the goals they do have. So what is the difference between index fund investing and picking of stocks? Index fund investing is whereby you're tracking the market. You're tracking an index. An index is basically a group of stocks in a particular basket. So for example, the S&P 500 it contains 500 different companies, 500 largest companies in the US, and then they're all put together in one basket. So when you are doing what we call index fund investing, you are buying into the S&P 500. It means you are buying into a fund that tracks the S&P 500. So however the S&P 500 performs, that's how yours will perform. So basically, there's a basket of different kinds of stocks and you buy into the basket. So basically, you own a piece of every company within that basket. So if we're using the example of S&P 500, for example, there's Apple, there's Google, there's Amazon, all these big companies, you own a piece of each of those companies, a very small percentage of it, of course. But it means that you will always get the returns of the overall market. It means your returns will be comparable to the overall market. It has given back constant and consistent returns since it was incepted. So if you think about it, you don't have to think of picking stocks. You don't have to think of the next big Apple, the next big Amazon, the next big Tesla. All you need to think of, is, what? I'm putting money into this particular index fund and I will get my constant and consistent returns. It has given an average return of 9.8% for the last, I think, 50 years. So that gives you an idea. So some years it would be negative or so, like when Corona hit, things were so bad, but right now they're back up again. So that's the beauty of index fund investing. You don't have to worry so much about what's happening in the market. It's a very simple and seamless process. All you do is put your money there every month, follow the index fund, track the market. We call it tracking the market because you're buying into the whole market. There are different kinds of indices. For example, in the UK, we have the FTSE 100, which again contains 100 companies, some of the biggest companies. And in Europe, there's also an index fund that tracks some of the biggest companies in Europe. So it's different. Every country, you will find an index fund that tracks some of the biggest companies or the best performing companies in that country. It's all different. Indexes are different, but the most popular one is the S&P 500, which is in the US. Now, let's describe what is picking of stocks. Picking stocks is a strategy of investing whereby you decide on which stocks you think will perform well in the market. Of course, people like Warren Buffett have done this successfully, but they don't advise it. People like Dave Swanson have done this, but they don't advise it as such. They always advise people to invest in index funds because you don't have to worry about which stocks you need to pick. So if you're going to pick individual stocks, that's what we call picking of stocks or trading, or basically you're trying to bet on one company or two companies or three companies. For example, those who did bet on Tesla are reaping it big right now. But again, there are so many companies that fall. In one company that you hear of, just know there are so many that also fall, and they do fall with people's money. So that the best way to invest is through index fund. It's much easier, it's seamless, it's cost effective, and it's less stressful. And of course, if you come to picking of stocks, you have to be really informed. You have to do proper research. You have to read the quarter reports of the companies, all the details of the companies basically. So it is extremely important that you know the difference between the two before you start. Thank you guys. Until next time, FinaTips here.